Hi, I'm Fred, and we are Hopper. Some of you might have heard about us. So the people at Phocuswright were nice enough to invite me up to tell our story. So let's go. So we took a long time to launch. We sunk $12 million in 5 years in our data platform. And actually, by the time we launched, people were throwing rocks at me. Some of them are in this room right now. And when we actually launched, we launched the wrong thing. Then, in 2014, we got a break. The New York Times wrote about us. Actually, not quite. They wrote about something we had buried deep down in our website. Some arcane report that looked like something out of 1995 that said stuff like, if you shop on a Tuesday, you can save some money on your flight, like $12. And then the New York Times took this and ran it in their print edition, Weekend. Immediately after that, it was like the sky had caught on fire. We ended up on Good Morning America, the Today Show. We ended up on the evening news. We were trending in Brazil, Japan. Overnight, we ended up with 1 million users on this thing that wasn't even on our homepage. So we scrambled, put up what you see there, and then we ended up pivoted in air on the web. So I did the only logical thing now that we had 1 million users. I shut down our website. And we went all mobile. That's Hopper today. We don't actually have a website. Everything we do only exists in the app. So that might sound crazy, and my board certainly thought that I'd lost my mind. But if you look back, as early as 2013, 2012, it was absolutely clear that mobile, if you were looking at the right data, was going to crush the world. Just look at those growth curves that are up there. So it was completely logical to me at the time that we had to get in some position to be able to intercept that wave. That's why we did that. But still, we were in air, which is a really, really tough category for a startup. The economics are not great, and there's a lot of good competition, as Steve just mentioned. So we started thinking, what can you do? How do you differentiate? If you're going to move 200 million people up onto a new brand, you're going to need something pretty awesome. What we had was a lot of data. So we started thinking, saying, hey, could we actually figure out a way to see into the future for real? Not as a probability, but actually know what's going to happen in the future. So when I say a lot of data, I mean a lot. So we process about 300 billion flight prices every month. So it's about 6 to 8 billion a day. And we have an archive that contains every price that we've seen for the past 5 years that has 5.2 trillion different prices in it. And we're continuously ingesting this from a whole bunch of partners, GDSs and other things, and running math on it. The fact that we have a lot of data is one thing, but it actually matters what this data is. And what this is that at some point in time, somebody asked to see a price for a route. It comes from human beings that are asking a question. So what that looks like, this light bright monstrosity that's running behind me, is actually all of the shopping that's happening from Boston to London. What you see on one side is the departure date, the length of stay, and the return date that you choose. Time is passing in accelerated time here. Every second, 1 day of shopping is being displayed. And when you see a light up, it's because there's a certain volume of people that are asking a question. Those red triangles, those are waiting for the business travelers. Red is expensive. All the green stuff that you see are surges of deals that people are finding. And then you see striations that are appearing when the yield management system of the airline is actually realizing they should be raising prices. As you can see, as time goes by, closer to departure time, prices go up. It becomes yellow. So if you look at this, it has some organic, fluid quality to it. And the reason you're seeing that is because what you're observing is real-time human behavior around the world being condensed on this one route. So when you look at that, it's not hard to imagine that if you took this data and you stuffed it in 1,000 computers, you can do some pretty cool stuff. What we have, which is our forecasting tool, is very different than anything that's ever been done. Up to a year in advance, within $5, to the day, we know the future lowest price of a route for every route in the world. It's been tested on 14 million trips. We've done regression on every one, and it works. So if we say on April 25th, for your flight, it'll be $395, within $5, that's what's going to happen in the future. So obviously, when we launched this, people started using it. This is actually a chart of September of last year. Our apps had been out for 6 months, but this is when we sold our first ticket, when we became an OTA and started transacting on the phone. So what you basically see, that blue haze that's over the US, is the people that are watching a trip. This is the important part. For us, that means that somebody has expressed that they want to buy something into the future. It hasn't happened yet. This isn't what we did in the past. It's a snapshot on that day. We had 435,000 people looking to the future. That represented $250 million of booking value if it all converted. It doesn't all convert in our app. You might be shocked how much does, but 90% of this is real intent, so they bought it somewhere. You go forward to January of this year. As we launch Android, you can kind of see the rest of the world lighting up. We get to about $500 million of booking value. Step forward to May of this year. At this point, we've saturated. Every fuselage that's running a route in the world, there's a Hopper user looking at it, and we reach $1 billion of future-looking booking value active in the app. 2 million trips. And this is last month. You can see that there's actually been no new routes. It's just more volume. There's like more light on the world map. And we picked up $500 million of booking value. So at this point, we have so much density that we have multiple people, sometimes tens of thousands, that are looking for the same things. And we can start doing something very interesting. It's analyzing that demand. So now you get into this interesting situation. If you think of it, we took people's shopping behavior today, and we were able to accurately forecast what suppliers would be doing into the future. A bunch of people started using that, and we ended up with a graph of what the people want to buy into the future. So now you actually have a marketplace that has future understanding of behavior that hasn't happened yet. Now it gets fun. You're basically operating a time machine. So where we are now with this, because we're at scale, we're starting to do a bunch of interesting experiments. So can you sell something to somebody before they know they want it? Because somebody else out there, like you, has shown the fact that they will buy it. If I know that you're going to buy something and you don't even know that yet, how valuable is that for an airline or a hotel? And my favorite one right now is, can I sell something today that doesn't exist yet? Whether it's a price, a service, or something else like that. So we're running a whole bunch of wild experiments in the app right now. If you want to go check it out, you might get lucky and hit one of those things. But right now, I'm the one who's out of time. So thanks a lot. See everybody next year.